What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we got an update regarding your man's Anthony on the DL Johnston. Now, obviously, we know his head trainer is now a confirmed unknown bum called Fernando Alonso, aka Angel Fernandez, aka AJ's DL Donny. 100%. He stay on the DL with his cat, no doubt. Yeah, and this I wanted to show you, man, this picture because this sums up the things that be going on in the camp. Yeah, and you best believe it's all the things that shouldn't be happening. How about that? Yeah, this cat here looks like an agony aunt to me. I told you. Oh, yeah, Anthony Johnson is Anthony Johnston has become an auntie. He too caring. That's why people, when he got his head boxed off by Mr. Middleweight after the fight, he went in there to console and congratulate Usyk. Oh, I'm so happy for you. What the fuck? Who be doing that? Who loses and then congratulate? I'm sorry, I've never seen nothing like it. Whenever I lost in competition, I was mad, big mad. I wish the ops was dead. Truth be known, at the time, if the cat could have dropped dead, so I could have won, I'd have taken that. Oops, yeah, that's how I felt. Obviously, it's not really. Obviously, you know what I mean. It's not realistic, but I'm just saying that's how bad I wanted it. Johnston, the last thing I'll be doing, and this is the problem you see, I've been calling this out for time. The last thing you'd catch me doing, and again, I've never been nowhere near AJ's level, but even so, the last thing you'd catch me doing, yeah, after I'd just been beat. And my sport wasn't even a physical sport where you've been embarrassed in front of your home people. I can't even imagine getting your head punched in, yeah, and collapsing on the ropes, and then going after the fight, taking pictures and saying, "Oh, well done, I was happy with you." What the f*** wrong with this guy? Emotional, zesty, funny style guy, but where's he developed these attributes from? This picture, this whole vibe sums it up. Yeah, AJ had after a sparring session and they're hugging. What the fuck? What are you hugging about? Explain. I need to know what you're hugging about in this camp. Yeah? Listen, let me tell you something now, Mr. DL. Yeah? Let me tell you something now, Mr. On the Down Low. You've had way too much hugging, way too soft. AJ's brought in essentially a bunch of females into his camp, and that's why he has female things going on now. Oh, let's congratulate the man who punched my nut in for me. What? I've never heard of something so mad. Never heard of it, and yeah, like I think Wilder went too far with it. But I've never criticised. Yeah, I criticised Wilder for making up weird stories, but I never criticised Wilder's frustration with losing. You never heard me say, "Oh, I think Wilder should have gone in there and rubbed Fury off after getting knocked out." No, he absolutely should have been big mad. But obviously, Wilder went too far making up all these stories that didn't make no sense. But being vicious, being sick to your stomach, wishing violence on the person who beat you, I completely get that, and that's how you should feel. But this Cat Johnston, and this show, I've been saying this, and the problem is, you see, a lot of AJ Man fans, rather than listen to the YB, who is probably 60, 70, 80, 90 IQ points higher than the average AJ Man fan, who at the time told me, don't forget people, I'm not going to lie to you, was I always telling things the cold hard truth from 2019? Did I try and put a positive spin on it? Yeah, I did. To some extent, I was chilling for AJ. I was trying to negotiate things. Now it's a cold, hard truth, but back then I'd try and negotiate and try and show a different path, but hope for the best. Now there's no hope. Now it's cold, hard truth. Yeah? But even at the time, I remember, yeah, back in 2019, saying AJ team is soft, Rob McCrappen useless, and all the rest of it. And people was telling me, no, YB, he different. Yeah, he can, no, YB, he a peace envoy. Oh, YB, everyone, you're not rich like him, and you haven't got no belts, and YB, he's so successful, and he doesn't need to be vicious outside the ring, and he can be super soft. He can be hugging with his main training mans after the, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm baffled. What are you hugging about? Explain. About the quote on the picture, no response is a response, and it's a powerful one. You know what I'm sick of? Do you know what Instagram's made? Instagram has made everyone think they're some sort of philosopher. You never wondered that? Oh, it pisses me off. That's why I don't use these kind of things. For the main, I don't use social media because it's dead. It's full of people trying to kind of like, I'm not sure if virtue signal is the right word, but obviously it's full of virtue signalers. But not only that, it's people trying to come across as super deep, yeah, super philosophical, and they say these things that, like, speak plainly. If you got something to say it. Oh, bro, no response is a response, bro. Yeah, it's a powerful one, bro. And me and AJ are hugging, bro. It's weird. Yeah, talk plainly. And I tell you, in fact, you know what? Scrap all it. Scrap all. No response is a response. How about making your intentions clear? The same way you gassed up all the fans before the fight, talking about Kronk and talking about KOs, and you went in there and didn't do nothing about no response is a response. Hugging after the training session is a response. How about that? Zesty looking ass cats. I've never seen nothing like it. Genuinely. All this, what are we doing here? And you can just tell, like, look at the vibe here. Look at the vibe. And I believe, if you actually look at the dates, this picture was put out, yeah, where my video first came out exposing the fact that AJ had hired Fernandez to be on the DL with. That's why, that's when this picture came out. Yeah, and that's what's, no response to the YB is a response, and it's a powerful one. It's basically trying to say, we're not going to respond to the claims that we're on a DL together. And you can see AJ here, he down bad that he's been outed. Bottom line, he's been outed that he's on DL with Fernando. Oops, yeah. What can I say? But like I said, no one cares. Genuinely, yeah. It's 2022. No one cares what you do in your personal life. Yeah, not even a bit. You can do all the fruitiness. You can be on the DL all you want. What we care about, yeah. Separate your personal life with your training life. You can't have a head trainer who is also your head DL'd on. No good. Yeah. If you want to be on the DL with Fernando, be on the DL with Fernando. That's on the weekend. Say that for the weekend. In the week, you need someone serious. You can't mix the two. Is this what you call mixing the two? Oh, yeah. Explain this picture, yeah. Listen, there's a saying, a picture says 1,000 words. You telling me that picture don't say 1,000 words? Just emotion, too much, and it's the wrong emotion. Do you understand? This picture shows that it's kind of like, head down and down bad and going through it. This is, honestly, if I had to say a picture, yeah, showing going through it, it'd be this one. This ain't the right vibe, I'm afraid. Yeah? You need your head up. You need your elbows in. That's what you need to do. And I remember AJ from the early days when he was fighting Dillian White, yeah. AJ would be in there with his kind of swagger, where he'd just kind of walk forward. He'd just kind of march forward with almost sloppy defense, but it was confidently sloppy defense. His hands was kind of low. It's almost like showing no respect, just walking forward. Where's that guy with the chest puffed out? Where's that guy gone? This guy with his shoulders all rounded forward and his head's down and his next DL zesty coach is hugging him and trying to I mean, what? I'm sorry, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of AJ Man fans about to tell me, YB, it's 2022 and Fernando looking after AJ mental. I'm sick of hearing about mental health as well. I'm sick of hearing it. It's like a new buzzword. All you ever hear these days about, and that's all you hear about, tired of hearing it, man. Like I said before, if you got problems, retire. Oops. Yeah, but whilst you're in the public light, wasting people's coin after you go, and don't forget, people say, YB, it's your own fault for losing coin. No, it's not. It's not my fault that he told me he was going for KO, and then went in there, and not one part of that fight was he going for the KO. That's a lie. It's your fault. If I tell you, you know what I'm saying? If I tell you I'm going to do something and do the opposite, that ain't your fault. That's my fault for lying. And the fact that he didn't take no responsibility for that makes it even more his fault. He didn't come out and say, you know what? I need to apologise to the fans because I gassed them all up with my William Hill sponsorship and told everyone I was going for the KO and went in there and didn't do naffle. Yeah? But anyway, listen. This picture for me, again, says 1,000 words, and it says what I've been saying all along. AJ is surrounded by soft, zesty, emotional, agony auntie wannabe. Don't get me wrong. Yeah? If boxing was about training someone to be the best auntie, I'm under no illusions. AJ would be a great nanny right now. Yeah, I'm sure there's some Saudi cats who would love to hire Anthony Johnson to be their nanny for their children. He's number one nanny right now. He's very caring about the kids. He can look after the kids, make sure they're fed, make sure they're emotionally developed. 100%. AJ loves emotions. He loves to be emotional. Yeah, he loves it. And that's what you see the picture here, and that they're analysed. You can tell they're analysing their emotions. And I guarantee you, after every session or even during sessions, Fernando says to AJ, "Oh, AJ, how are you feeling? Let's talk about your feelings some more today. Oh, how are you? Your feelings. Let's expand on them. Let's expand on them female emotions you've got. Oh yes, oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what you want to do about how you're feeling. What you want to do is start feeling some of the shame that you put your fans in front of, watching that pathetic performance, about feeling sorry for yourself. And what you want to do when you're making that kind of money is start leaving part of yourself out there. Tyson Fury left part of himself out there against Wilder. Wilder left part of himself out there against Fury. Well, all you AJ Man fans, you tell me. That's the thing. People say, "YB, you're a hater." What you man never do is answer my questions. So AJ Man fans, comment below the last fight you saw Anthony Johnston leave part of himself out there. Oops. Yeah? The last one would be 2017 against Vlad, 6 years ago. And you wonder why we're in the position we're in, or you wonder why Johnston is in the position he's in. He don't commit himself enough. He think he can just go in there and play touch butt in the park with Ido Portal and with the flumes. AJ thinks he can go boxing with swimming flumes and just play fanny around and play Takashi's Castle and think they're gonna do something. At this level in sport, and it's mad that you have to say this, but at the pinnacle of sport, it just don't work. Yeah? You can't win things without leaving yourself out there. You can't. It's impossible. If it was an easy way to do it, everyone would do it, yeah? If it was possible to win at the very top and just fanny around, everyone would do that. It can't be done. You come unstuck, even if you are an athlete, which AJ is. And the worst thing is, despite all of AJ's attributes, he still is shown when you're not committed, when you're not on it, when you're not prepared to go that far, you still get whooped by people who are much lower level than you. Usyk, Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby and Usyk, no matter how good they are, they're nowhere near the capability of AJ, if you get what I'm saying. But that shows you what a strong mind can do. A strong mind is worth. You can have all the genetic advantages. You can have all the genetic advantages you want. If you're weak, if you're soft like butter, yeah, soft like butter looking ass, 100%, it's no good. So like I said, this cat here, Fernando, all he's going to do is get you got. I'm telling you now. He don't know what he's doing. That's what we know. He ain't got a clue what he's doing. And we're going to see that again in the Usyk fight. And we're going to see AJ be super emotional. And no doubt, I'm sure AJ will be in after the fight, being there congratulating Usyk, saying, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." I mean, who was advising him? No word of a lie. So wait there a minute. After the fight, after Usyk whooped you, he was round there immediately hugging and taking photos about how happy he was that you got whooped. And then but yet in the press conference, he was happy for Usyk, but you weren't apologetic to your fans. It's baffling. Who's advising this guy? Who said yeah, or who didn't tell AJ? Wait a minute. Why are you going round to take pictures with a man who boxed your head off? Why are you sharing your belts with some next on, Mr. Blobby? I don't get it. Oh, but YB, I'm an AJ Man fan, and it's so lovely to see a heavyweight world champion sharing his belt. You man are weird. I'm sorry, you're just weird. Oh no, YB, I love seeing it. It's so good. He's bringing the world together by sharing his belts, and he's bringing the world together by showing everyone that you can get your nut punched in and still be super duper happy to have it done. It's weird, man. And it's the whole vibe of the camp. I'm sorry, the whole vibe of the camp is zesty. People said to me, "Oh, YB, the video of AJ playing with the flumes, playing gladiators, playing Takashi's Castle with the flumes. Oh, YB, he's having fun." And if you're having fun, like I said before, I've got no problem with that. No one, I'd never tell no one not to have fun. But guess what? Do it in your own time. Retire. Go and retire. Have all the fun you want. Yeah, retire and have all the DL. Listen, your whole life can be on the DL if you retire, and no one can judge you. But whilst you're in the public sphere, whilst you say you want to do this, I'm going to call a spade a spade. No more lying to people. Because guess what? I did that for X amount of years, and that didn't help nothing. I sugarcoated it for way too long, trying to be sensitive about the situation. Now it's the facts. The facts are what I just told you, 100%.